I'm going to speak in English, okay? That's what I was told. And in any case, I want to know, have you drunk a coffee? Are you awake or? Yes? Okay. So the ones that arrived too late, come on. I want to know before I start, as Pia has told you, my name is Sonia. I'm working since almost 16 years in the Fira Barcelona. I'm working as International Relations Director. This means I travel quite a lot for the Fira. And since 12 years, I write about luxury hotels in a blog and in a website that I own, and also for some magazines. So my life, what I'm going to explain, it will sound very, very glamorous, okay? Because I spend a lot of time in some of the best hotels in the world. It sounds glamorous, but in fact, it's a job. So I'm going to explain to you about all of these things and how I position myself into luxury traveling and into being a well-known journalist for luxury hotels. Because I go to these hotels, but I don't pay them. That's the best thing, okay? I couldn't pay them, actually, because some hotels cost more than 1,000 euros per night. So I could pay one night, but then I don't eat the rest of the month. So I will explain you my experience, and please feel free to stop me, to ask me anything if you want, if you have any doubt or any comment. But before that, I want to know how many people, how are you? How many people are you? Okay. How many people here read a newspaper, a daily newspaper in the morning? And online, a daily newspaper online? How do you get the news? How do you know what happens in the world? Or do you don't care? You don't care? You don't care, or pasa, va? How do you know what happens in the world, or you don't care? Just you don't care? So what happens in the US, if there is a caucus yesterday or not, you don't care? Okay. And you? Tu? Què? Tu? Sí, tu també. És igual.
It's not that, I don't read like every day a newspaper.
You don't what? Sorry?
I don't read the newspaper every day, but maybe like in Facebook or maybe in, I don't know, in some.
And with reading the Facebook, it's enough. Okay, good to know. How many of you have Facebook? I guess everyone? Active users? Most of you, right? No? You don't have Facebook?
I have, but
You are not active. Well, how many of you have Twitter, a Twitter account? Don't be shy. Not all of you. But all of you have Instagram.
Yes.
Who doesn't? Oh, why? Why?
Instagram.
See.
I don't get the necessity because everything.
It's not a thing to post, but you could read pictures and get inspired, but just to understand. Okay, and Snapchat. Who's got Snapchat? Okay. Que tímids que sou, feu així. Periscope? Periscope. Who's got Periscope? You don't know what's Periscope? You see. And you don't have Periscope then, okay. Periscope for me is one of the best tools I've discovered the last year. It's on the market since 1 year. It belongs to Twitter, and it's a live broadcast for. I could be now just recording you and doing. And doing a kind of broadcast of what I'm doing now, what I'm seeing now, and it goes online. It goes on the Twitter. It's linked on my Twitter account, and it can last 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 20 minutes. Doesn't matter. Okay. And with that, it's online 3 days. After the 3 days, it disappears. Okay? So for me, it's very good to have Periscope because I go to the luxury hotels and I show the luxury hotel. Besides, of course, posting pictures and so on. But for me, it's a tool. All these digital things, for me, are tools to promote and to inspire people. Okay? So that's what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to talk about, wait a moment. Well, that's me. I'm going to talk about figures and what you can reach with that. So it's not meant that everyone is in social media and everyone is active on it. Because always, I also teach about social media, I always ask, are you active or passive? What a tricky question, right? But you can be act passive and just read and get inspiration or get information. Who reads via Facebook the newspapers, which I don't know it's the best way, but in any case, it's a way. But it's a way to get information, okay? So these are my different handles. And I want to understand, I'm going to put more questions, okay? What is luxury? What do you understand for luxury? For instance, what do you understand what is luxury?
Good quality and expensive.
Good quality and expensive. Usually, yeah. But the word luxury usually goes together with expensive. But it's not meant, it's a subjective question. So I'm just asking kind of to know what's luxury. Per tu? Come.
The same as what?
Same as she said. Okay. And for you?
Something that has a high quality and that costs a lot of money.
Okay. Cost a lot of money. Anyone say something else about luxury? Yes?
Exclusive services or something like that.
Exclusive services, yes. Yes. Anyone else that dares to say something, because you seem to be very shy now? No? Ningún més? Come, how? Yes. For me, for instance, luxury is time. I don't have much time left or much time that I can spend with doing my favorite things. My favorite things is to lie on the bed and to watch some series, no? House of Cards or whatever, you know? That's my favorite occupation, but I don't have much time. This is luxury for me. But, of course, we are speaking about hotels and about brands and so on. So luxury, it's together with money, usually. Though you can say you're in a valley in Switzerland or in Bayern and you watch a beautiful landscape and there is silence. Silence is also luxury sometimes when you live in a city. Okay, so it depends what's luxury for each one. Coco Chanel says luxury is invisible perfection. It's a description. I don't agree so much, but it's a description from somebody very well known and respected. You need to position your brand, your name, your product. You're going to be probably, most of you, hoteliers, could be? Yeah? What is the most normal way to get out of the university here? Mm-hmm. Who was working in a hotel? 2, vale. What? 1 out of 50 want to work in a hotel? 3. You? Internship. You are doing already now one? You are doing now an internship in a hotel? Nice. In which position in a hotel?
Reception.
Molt bé. And do you like it? Do you enjoy it?
Yes.
And the others? Nobody wants to work in a hotel? Or in tourism, organizing trips? In an airline? No? Not as a hostess, but you could work as a public relations manager, communications manager, director of sales. There are a lot of positions in hotels and so on. Only the ones that work in a hotel in the operations, let's say in the daily work, this is very, very busy and you are the whole time also working on the weekends. So be aware, if you are on this sector, you have to work a lot on the weekends, okay? In any case, I just want to show you how to position your brand and more than how to, it's not that I know everything, okay? I'm going to show what I did, which is not the same. I'm going to try to share what I did in order to get more visibility. And at the end of the day, the result of my visibility is now the 30% of my time that I have to travel, okay? To travel in the best hotels in the world. Another question. Who has been in a luxury hotel? Which is a luxury hotel for you? Anyone that has been in a very nice hotel, even drinking a coffee? You don't need to stay there. Has someone been at the Mandarin? Have you drunk a coffee? Then go and try it. Why not? It's not expensive and it's nice. Tu, quin has estat? Which one?
Me.
See you.
I went to the W.
The W here in Barcelona?
But just in the night.
Okay, just to enjoy. And it's nice, right?
Yes, it's not my kind of environment, but
I don't like W's hotels, for instance, myself, but it's a luxury brand. I don't like it because it's too fancy, too young, and services are not so good as expected, okay? That's my point of view. But the decoration-wise, for instance, the rooms in the W are amazing because you have these awesome views of Barcelona from the rooms, and these are unique views actually. So, and the breakfast is very good. So for instance, a lot of things to take into account in order to say if you like or you don't like a hotel. Anyone that has been to any other luxury hotel? See? Molt bé. I love the Majestic. I was 2 weeks ago in the afternoon tea. In the afternoon tea, you know what's afternoon tea, right? Most of you. Have you heard about the typical English afternoon tea? With the scones, kind of magdalenas raras, scones, and some sandwiches and tea, of course. In the Majestic, they do champagne afternoon tea, champagne fashion afternoon tea. It's champagne, tea, and then they do some eclairs. You know what are eclairs? Eclairs is a typical French pasta pastry with inside choux pastry with cream or chocolate or whatever, and they designed that inspired in the luxury fashion brands around the Majestic. So it's a way to get a different one and to position it that people take pictures. If you go to my Instagram, you will see some pictures, and to make that people speak about your afternoon tea in this case. So anyone else have been to any other? Yes? Come? Hotel Catalonia, which one? Catalonia is the brand that I meant.
In Catalonia and one of the
Yes. Okay. This is a four. These are nice 4 stars. Though the one in Plaza España needs a refurnishment, but it's a nice brand, Catalonia, especially the ones in the Caribbean, which are nicer, are more a resort. In any case, you can ask me. I'm gonna show you something. I said, with these words, create your story. It's a typical example of what I said about the eclair. You need to create. You need to think out of the box, to think something different that people speak about your hotel or about your. I'm saying hotels, but could be valuable for brands. Okay, I mean, for anything. Let me see. Shoes. Okay, you should. If you are shoes designer, you should do something very different. Okay, that people speak about you, comfortable, and this is marketing. This is why it's marketing for, and marketing is helped by the social media. Okay, social media, I say always, it's nowadays around 40% of the population active in social media. Not everyone has accounts, and not everyone is active, but around 12-15% of the population every year is growing the social media, the different, especially Instagram and Twitter, around 12 and 15%. Okay, so this means in 10 years, in 15 years, most of the population in the world will be in social media. Which other handles will we have? Other accounts will we have? We don't know, because now we have Periscope, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and for sure it's going to appear some new, okay? Which I don't know yet, but it's interesting to use them. So if you are working in a company or in an internship, it's important to write in an internship. Then they take you in the hotel or wherever, okay? Or they recommend you for other positions. So when you work in a place, create a campaign, create your story, think how to make things different from the others and how to write, okay? Be the ones to say something and contribute, thank you, to contribute with new things, with different things that can help to promote and to sell your product, your brand, and that's why you have to choose the channels. When you are already working, either you help explaining this to your colleagues and in the meetings and so on, or also choose the channels. Try to help them in the social media. If you are brilliant, you have ideas, share them, okay? Sí, tot okay? Tot bé? Sí? You are awake? Sí. Ostres, va. She didn't put the alarm this morning. It's interesting also as well to know that perhaps you are not on social media, you are a brand, and you are not on social media, but people are speaking about you, and you don't know that. So be aware that it's important to find out what others are doing in order to do a benchmark, and also find out what is saying about you, because they can be speaking in a good way, but also in a bad way, and you need to react. Okay, so take all these considerations and develop a campaign. A campaign is not meant a campaign like a project. This could be as well, but a campaign for yourself. Brand yourself and think out of the box. Remember, okay? See? Vale. I'm going to explain you how I did things with my own example. I've written 52 travel guides, okay? See, I started in 2003. How did I start? In 2001, I was backpacking. I'm going to India. So I Googled, at that time, you were not born, but there were no websites, not many travel websites. So I Googled, and it came out a travel website, which you will see in the next or the second next slide. And I was thinking, I was reading what they did 2 years before in India. So I thought, oh, this can be my itinerary for India. So I did something very similar that these people did 2 or 3 years ago in India. Okay, I printed the thing and I went to India backpacking alone in 2001. In 2002, I did the same thing with Guatemala and Belize. You know what is Belize? No? No one knows what is Belize? It's a tiny, tiny country close to Guatemala. Guatemala is in Central America, and it's a tiny country that they speak English. And the capital, which is the capital? People. Què dius? Tu, sí, te la saps o no? Belize. Belize. Et sona? Al costat de Guatemala. So, a sota de Mèxic, de la península de Yucatán, allà. So, the capital of Belize, no one knows? There is a prize, no? Pues me quedo el prize, Belmopan. So whatever, I went to Guatemala and Belize, and I was following what these people did 2-3 years ago. Okay, then in 2003, I wanted to go to Brazil. And in this, I think it was at that time the only travel website in Spain and in Spanish. And there was no Brazil, so I contacted the people, which I already knew. And I said, do you want me to write about Brazil? And they said, yes, please. So I did my trip to Brazil without any guide and writing about Brazil with taking notes and so on, and with a difference, because I'm a hotel freak. You know what is a hotel freak? A person that knows a lot of hotels and likes a lot of hotels. So I went to Brazil, and I went to different hotels, different categories, in order to write about the different categories. So I wrote my first travel guide about Brazil. I have to tell you, if you check my Brazil website right now, it's a little, the first one. You notice this, okay? In any case, I started then in 2003 with my travel guides. I have now 52, and I have one in a book. I published 2 years ago, almost 2 years ago, a Barcelona travel guide, which I was asked by a Forum de Marcas Renombradas, which is a how do you say this in English? It's a special association for well-known Spanish brands. There is Barça, there is Nike, there is El Corte Inglés, there is Bodegas Torres, there is Joselito. Don't know. There is many well-known Spanish brands. ¿Qué pasa? ¿Qué dit? Joselito it's a ham. It's a ham brand. So they asked me to write this, so I wrote a book about Barcelona. Okay? So I started with this. Then in 2005, a friend of mine told me, oh, you write travel guides, then you need to have a blog. I said, what's a blog? I said, a blog is something that you write things that you do or whatever about a subject. So I started my blog about different articles about traveling, which is different than the website. Websites are travel guides, and blog is just articles. In 2005, and well, last year in August, I celebrated my 10th anniversary. Okay, it's another way of doing things. Here are examples of some of my articles. 99.9% are in Spanish, and 1%, only one article is in English, which I did to celebrate my 8th anniversary, and it's actually one of the most well-read articles I've written. The one about the best, my favorite, more than the best, my favorite terraces in Barcelona. I translated it into English, and it's very well-read. By the way, you know why I chose Spanish and not English or German? I speak quite good German. Or why not Catalan? Why did I choose Spanish when I'm Catalan? I'm very Catalan.
You speak more Spanish than German in the world? I mean, English and Spanish are the most.
Especially because with Spanish, I reached over 300 million people in Latin America. And because at that time, in 2005, when I started the blog and the web, more or less, there were a lot of travel guides or blogs in English about traveling, about hotels, but none in Spanish. And actually specialized, like I am doing, in luxury hotels. There are not, I'm still not the only one, but probably the only one. I haven't found any other, but probably there are, but I don't know anyone. So it's a niche. This is another good thing. Follow a niche. If you want to reach something, try to find your way in something that you like, and there are not other competitors or few competitors. This could be another interesting thing. Out of the box and follow a niche, okay? ¿Sí? ¿Por allá vas también? ¿Sí? Vale. Nicho de mercado, ¿sí? These are more examples of what I do with my blog. Okay. In 2009, April, I started with Twitter. I was doing some tweets, and I had only 50 followers, and I thought, why do I need Twitter? I don't see any sense. What is the sense of tweeting and showing the pictures? So I didn't understand exactly the use of Twitter. Then at one point it started growing. Tío. But he's not going to have the prize. No tindrà el premi. Sí? So, sí? M'escolteu? Sí. Tu em sents bé? Sí. What I was saying. Oh, yeah. What is the sense on using Twitter if nobody reads me? So I start being constant, okay, and suddenly it started growing, okay? So, and I decided not to post things about any other subject but travel or hotels. So, another important thing for me, out of the box, follow your niche, and of course, be constant in the same, let's say, in the same direction. If you post about football or you post about politicians, then you are not being the best on your niche. Okay, it's important for me at least. I'm speaking always about my experience. Remember that. So there are other experiences. For me, it's very important to be constant in the same subject and not to change. For instance, some time ago, the director of communications of Peninsula Hotels. Have you heard about Peninsula Hotels? Peninsula Hotels are one of the best brands in the world. They have only 8 or 9 hotels, and it's a Hong Kongese Asian company, and the headquarters is in Hong Kong, and the director of communications is an English lady based in Hong Kong since many years. So she wrote me an email. She got a request from a Spanish journalist, and she sent me his email. Said, do you know him? He's requesting me 3 nights, one room for 3 nights, because he says he's going to write about us. I've said, I don't know him, let me check a little, because she knows me very well, this lady from Peninsula. Then I checked his profile. I didn't know his blog. In his email he was saying he was publishing in Ya, it's a Madrid news. I think it's only online now. I think it doesn't exist now anymore. Yeah. I think it doesn't exist, whatever. And that he's got a blog called El Almanaque or something like this, which is I checked it, and it had only 3-4 entrances, articles, and about adventures, nothing about luxury travel. And then I checked his Twitter account. What did I found? Most of the tweets were about football and about Madrid and against Barca. A lot of insultos, no? About how do you say insultos? About insults against Barca. So this means you are not a constant person. So I just wrote these 3-4 comments on the email, and the lady decided not to host him. Remember, we are speaking about hotels that the cheapest room is around in the peninsula, Hong Kong. It's not cheaper than 800 euros per night. Okay, so that's why I try to be on only one way and being constant. After this, thanks to the Twitter, it came 2 things on my life, which you will see later. Well, I'll jump back in then from the other slide. In my Facebook page, it's where I upload luxury hotel albums, pictures, and videos. Okay, I don't use YouTube because it should be another one, and I prefer to concentrate everything in the Facebook page. Please like it. If you are here in Facebook, please like it, if you like, of course, because many likes, it's important. Now I have over 93,000. I wrote 2 years in Marie Claire, Spain. Why? Because the director of Marie Claire, Spain asked me via Twitter. She was liking a lot my post, and she was seeing that I was going to the best hotels in the world, and she wanted to have somebody speaking about exclusive hotels in a column. So I worked for 2 years. I wrote for 2 years in Marie Claire, Spain about Mis viajes, consejos de una personal traveler. That was the name that they gave me. In any case, was very interesting. Thanks to that, well, this is something I'm doing since many, many years. I collaborate about the travel article in the TTRA in the UK. I write in English. And when I write in English, I always give my article to a friend of mine who's English to review it, because of course my English is quite good, but it's never perfect, and it's always improvable, okay? So a friend of mine reviews it. I have also a monthly luxury newsletter. It comes every second or third day of the month. It came out yesterday, was the second, yeah, it came out yesterday. And here I put what I do every month. So if you go to my website, you'll see articles, and then you find the newsletters. This is something that it's very important, because the people that receive the newsletters are the buyers of ILTM. To ILTM, International Luxury Travel Market, I will go back in a couple of slides, okay? My website, my travel websites, travel guides, most of them go to Viaje Adictas, which was the first website I followed, and the one that I told you before in 2001 and 2002. So I'm still publishing there. It's just a copy, let's say. Just put the same travel guide in the other. Thanks to Twitter, I also started writing for Forbes Travel in the US about Barcelona. I write when there is a new hotel, a new restaurant, something interesting that I like. I send them a short article. It's an easy thing. It's not too long, and they publish this in their website. Okay, and this also came via Twitter. Again, why? Because I was not speaking about politicians, I was not speaking about Olympic Games, I was not speaking about cars, I was speaking about hotels and travels. See? Anyone has a question? See? See? Vale. Oh yeah. And since 6 years, I speak in the radio in Andorra, which it's not a big radio, of course not. But they have money in Andorra, so it's interesting. I speak about my experiences, and they put that on Facebook and Twitter. It's another platform for me to be more viral, to arrive to more people. Okay. I spoke before about luxury travel market. Luxury travel market is the most important luxury travel show in the world. It takes place every year in Cannes, the first week of December. And I'm going there as a hosted journalist since 5 years. And they have Americas, Asia, Japan, and Africa as well. I write in Travesias. Travesias, as it says, it's printed in Mexico, and I write every month there. Okay. Remember, I do that in 30% of my time. It's like a full-time job, but only on the weekends. And this is another article. And I'm almost done. So I explained to you my example. It's not the best example, it's my example. And it means that I branded myself and positioned myself in luxury hotels and to be well known as a journalist for luxury hotels. Now, as well, I have a couple of campaigns, a couple of people that pay me to put their hotels online and under my, let's say, under my review. So it's another way of getting money. But it's not easy. In the US, it's much easier. I have my friends in the US are paid a lot of money to do all of these things. Here in Spain, it's very difficult. And I always say, it's not about Spain for me, it's about Latin America, because we are thinking about these over 300 million people. But in any case, it's what I did, and it works quite well, and I hope it will be working better, because it's 30% of my time. Yes? See?
Did you study journalism?
I did not study journalism. I studied Germanistic, German philology, and politics. I'm filóloga y politóloga. No? And that's what I studied. I didn't study, but I have to tell you something. When I was the first 3 years in the university, I was working in my local newspaper in my city, Mataró. I was working as, how did they say? Responsible of the culture department, meaning I was responsible of the 2 pages of culture every Saturday and every Tuesday. Yeah, I think sometimes I do some lectures in different universities, and some have a lot of questions. It depends on the day, on the mood. I want to thank you for.